Hey guys, it's Sam, and yes, you saw the title and thumbnail correctly. I am reviewing scissors. But Sam, aren't you a drawing and painting channel? Since when did you become a craft channel? Today, right now, just this video. Yep, but I will be reviewing... This is actually way bigger than I thought it was gonna be, to be honest. But it's the Arteza, I don't know how to pronounce this brand still. Like, after all this time, you'd think I would, but I don't. But I'm gonna be reviewing their 12 decorative scissors, and I wanna see just the quality, how good they are, maybe how long they last. We'll see how it goes. Let's open her up. So here they are all laid out. First impressions are that they are quite plasticky feeling. You know, those like safety scissors for kids. Well, I mean, these are for 5 and up is what they said on the website and the box and stuff. But you know what I mean? Like those safety scissors for kids. It does feel kind of cheap. I'd say it feels a touch nicer than those safety scissors, but not by like a grandiose amount. Like regular adult scissors, just for comparison, obviously feel much nicer, sturdier, higher quality sort of thing. These definitely feel much cheaper and hopefully not prone to breaking. So it says that it's left or right-handed, so either hand works. I don't know if this does anything, but here is it in my left hand and here is it in my right hand. I will mention that my fingers are pretty long and skinny, so if you have larger fingers than mine, you might have a little bit more trouble with these, but they are a little bit small. But I think my main complaint so far, just because I kind of expected some cheapiness, is just the colors of the scissor part. Like, it's kind of fun, like, oh, look, all these fun colors, but to quickly glance and find one I want, like, oh, I can immediately see that one, or this one, because they're like unique colors, but there's so many greens. I don't know why there's so many greens. Anyway, so I have a stack of different kinds of papers over here. So I'm going to try them out with different papers and see how they go. Starting with probably what is my lightest and most finicky paper to work with. This is just magazine paper. So let's just pick this one. Is that ASMR for anybody? Here we go. Cutting time. If you can see that cut at all. Aim it into the light. There's the cut. It seemed to do it pretty cleanly. There's a tiny bit of fray, but that might just be because it's magazine paper. Let's try a different one. I know you can't tell it's a different one because of the green, but this is a different pair of scissors. Oh, that one cut way smoother. I don't know if that's because the design is simpler. This one has like a lot more little nooks and crannies that it has to go into, and this one's just kind of simple shapes. So that might be a factor too. And which one of these scissors starts to go wrong first? But this one was a much cleaner cut. I don't see any fraying. Yeah, that one cut super nice. So let's try this one. These are some nice cuts. You got a little bit of fray here and there, but again, that might be because it's magazine paper. All right, so this is just a piece of computer paper. There's like a little bit of stick when it opens. I've actually used these kind of design scissors before, and that's pretty normal, at least from my experiences. But yeah, that one cut nice. This one feels much smoother. Again, I think the simpler designs are probably just better. Oh, I spoke too soon. Can you see that? It sort of like gave up there at the end. There's like a little cut here, and then it just did not cut there. Let me try this one again. All right, that worked much better, which is, I guess, a good thing, but also like a bit inconsistent. So it definitely seems to matter where you start, because the initial bit here when I was further into the scissors is fraying and didn't cut super great, and then the end does not cut super great. Yeah, this one's just not as nice. I don't know if that's because it's computer paper. Maybe this particular design needs thicker paper. I'm actually gonna try this one on the magazine paper. I seem to handle it a little bit better. All right, maybe it needs thinner paper. So you might want to maybe keep in mind certain designs work on certain papers. Next up is this kind of fancy cardstock paper. It's from the Recollections set. I actually want to try the finicky one first. Okay, that cut infinitely better. Let's just try it a few more times just to be like... So this one just didn't like computer paper. I don't know why. Maybe I was doing something wrong. I don't know. I doubt it. But these are completely clean cuts. It looks just fine. It's so satisfying to hear that crunch. Yeah, this cuts insanely well. I would say this paper is performing the best with these scissors. And for this last little part, when you cut the paper, you have to kind of do this little... like right at the end. Zoom and enhance here so you can kind of see the cuts a little bit better. For the most part, all of these other ones cut perfect. And then just this more intricate green one struggled a little bit at the ends. Pretty much like your art supplies, you're probably going to want to test out your scissors on different papers before you, you know, do them on an actual project. Okay, next paper is this Canson XL watercolor paper, which is 300 grams. It's just, I could spend all day just doing this. And these things are small. I thought it was going to hurt after a while, but I kind of feel okay. Again, I have really skinny fingers though. They don't feel uncomfortable. Oh boy. Okay, that one struggled a little bit there. There is definitely some fraying here. Let me try that again. Okay, this one's cutting really badly. Well, let's try like a really simple design. This one is just a wave up and down, super simple. All right, that one handled it so much better. There's a touch of fraying, so if you're going on like really heavier paper, you might want the more simple designs. You can see the cuts a little bit better. It kind of works, but it kind of also shows a little bit of fraying, especially this one over here. I don't know if I just cut it terribly, but there's a ton of fraying here. This one. I want to do a quick test on the Recollections one with just that one scissor and see if it's the scissor or is it the paper. All right, so it's absolutely the paper. You might not want to go too much heavier than the, whatever this kind of paper is, just the Recollections fancy, somewhat cardstock-ish paper. All right, so finally we have felt. So supposedly these scissors are also supposed to cut into felt. So we're going to try a sheet of felt. Oh, there's no way. I don't think there's any way this is cutting anything. These are absolutely not going to be cutting into felt. I don't know if this is like too thick of felt. On the website, it just said felt sheets. And I went to Michael's and I bought a felt sheet because I do not own felt sheets. Well, now I do, but just for video purposes. Did I grab the wrong thing? Hold on, I gotta check. Okay, so on the website, it says I can do construction paper, which I tested, scrapbook paper, which I also tested, and then photo paper, which I did not think to test. I don't have photo paper at the moment. I'm assuming photo paper is fairly similar to those other papers. I think it would be fine. I would do test ones just in case. But it also says felt sheets. And this is a felt sheet. This is what it said when I purchased it. I don't know if they meant different types of felt sheets, but this is all that I have and it is absolutely not cutting through. Like even the most basic shape one, let's try that. There's just absolutely no way. That was kind of anticlimactic. So if you get these types of felt sheets, it will not cut through them. I'm going to take some time and fiddle with these scissors over various crafts. You will see how my results went and my final thoughts in a second. It's going to take me a few weeks. So I will see you guys in a second. Just kidding. Surprise. I found one more thing I can try cutting. A cereal box. So just basically cardboard is effectively what I mean right here. Ugh, not a problem. There's a touch of fraying, but very, very little. This boy right here, this child struggles on a lot of these, just a heads up. So the more intricate the design, you're probably going to really figure out what papers it works for best, because this one is very much like, I have a preference. Yeah, so this one is still somewhat intricate and it cut just fine. There's a touch of fraying. I mean, you could probably cover it up if you're doing some kind of craft, depending on what you're doing. So not a big deal. It cuts through cardboard for the most part, just fine, minus picky boy over here. Okay. All right, so I have used these scissors for a little while now, and I think the final verdict is they're okay. It's kind of like what you would expect, I guess, from children's quality, fancy looking scissors. I found that they struggled a bit on my gold reflective paper. I think maybe it's because it's more soft and like it couldn't really cut through that gold foil as easily, but it cut through just fine on like the watercolor paper, for example, which is thicker than that paper. So it seems to be hit and miss with some certain papers. And once you figure that out, like if you're not super picky on what projects you're doing or even the final quality, because sometimes it can still cut pretty cleanly, but it might miss here and there just a little. But if you're not super picky on that, I think these can be pretty fun to use. And for the price point, it's, I think about, if I remember right, of like one pair of really nice adult scissors. And you can get this set instead, which is like, you know, several scissors. But the quality obviously isn't quite there. So I suppose it's up to you to weigh those pros and cons to see what sort of projects you want to do,
if it's worth it for you to get a bundle of scissors that aren't quite there versus one pair of scissors. Maybe you have a very particular set of like some sort of wavy or specific cut that you know you're just going to use most often, then I would say invest in the more expensive single adult scissors that are probably going to last you longer and cut through more stuff. But otherwise, I don't really regret buying them. I've been using them for my junk journals, which are already poor quality in my mind anyway. Like, I don't want to care too much about the quality. So the fact that there's a little phrase here and there or something's not quite right doesn't bother me. So it works perfectly for me. I'm not bothered by the quality that much. I wish it could do a little bit more, but it's fine for what it is. And yeah, that's basically my review of these scissors. If you try them out yourself, let me know how they went in the comments down below. If you do any sort of other crafting, feel free to let me know. We can talk a little bit about that. And yeah, I know this video was a little bit out left field for me, but hopefully you guys still enjoyed it anyway and enjoyed seeing a little bit more of the hobbies and things that I like to do with my junk journal stuff. And yeah, I hope I get to do a little bit more this year because it is really fun and relaxing. So yeah, that's basically it for this video. Any other links and socials and stuff in the description. If you'd like to support me on Ko-fi, link for that is in the description as well. I post art resources, tutorials, all that good stuff over there. And yeah, so thanks so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!